6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
The Geek Week in Review.
Hello and welcome to the Geek Week in Review with me, Jacob Toys, and of course Ryan Speaks Geek. Thank you very much for tuning in. Just for clarification, I'm live on TikTok over here doing the Geek Week in Review on TikTok, and I've got Plastic Snaps as a co-host on TikTok, as you can hear him, and I've got Ryan Speaks Geek doing the regular show with us over here.
This is a proper crossing the streams. Oh, is this the Geek Week
madness.
multiverse of madness? Maybe
It is.
Is this what this is?
Viz, how you doing? How's it going? Stephen Butler, evening. Hello. So we are doing a short show this week. As you can see, we are missing SuperSorrell. SuperSorrell is unfortunately not that super today. He's feeling a bit ill. He's a bit under the weather. So we gave him a hall pass and we're just going to keep the show nice and short just because we had to jump on because there's been loads of stuff going on. We've had a whole bunch of trailers drop this week. Not a huge amount of toy news, to be honest with you. So we're just going to talk about the trailers that have dropped. So Ryan, Simon, can you hear Ryan?
I can hear Ryan. Say hello.
Hey, I said hey, said hello. Sorry.
I've got one platform talking to another platform. I think I've just broke the internet. Like this.
No, you'll break the internet if Tom from MySpace comes on, and just that will really break the
Mate,
internet.
if we can get Tom from MySpace on one of the shows, let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, we were friends, and he was in my top 8 on MySpace. I'm pretty sure we're close still.
I know. I think me and Tom from MySpace have got some history. So I'm going to try to maintain both the comments here just to see what's going on. But let's just jump straight in. So we had a whole bunch of trailers drop this week. Ryan, what do you want to start with? Which one should we talk about first?
Let's talk about the one that you probably care least about, which is Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
No, you're wrong. I think I'm really hyped for this.
What? I
I'm
can't
really
normally
hyped for
get
it.
like anyone excited about Transformers on this show, so that's pretty awesome, man.
No, you know what? The Transformers, we're talking about Transformers Rise of the Beast. Now, I didn't know this trailer was coming. I'm not going to lie. Wasn't expecting
It was rumored to be coming later, and then suddenly, as people were sharing comments about the rumors of when the trailer would be dropping, people were like, "Oh no, actually, I'm going to just share the trailer now." So
yeah,
it's just out.
but I think it looks good. I mean, what's everyone else's thoughts about Rise of the Beast? I think it's cool. Big mechanical gorilla. You can't go wrong there.
It mixes the two sort of like generational fan bases. So now you're mixing like the original like 80s and 90s fans. 80s fans like with the 90s fans, because so Beast Wars, the animated, like there was one of the first animated complete CG shows. Like, I mean, Reboot was the first one, and then Beast Wars was very close behind it. And it has a very huge and very loyal fan base. And over the years, it's had a resurgence, and they've started doing like the like anniversary Beast Wars figures, like reissues of the ones from the 90s and stuff like that. So this is kind of like the next sort of logical step, I guess you could say, in films. The other thing is it looks really good, is that it looks thematically, style-wise, it looks closer to Bumblebee, which was the last Transformers film, as opposed to maybe Revenge of the Fallen, the ones before that.
Yeah.
Because Bumblebee was definitely the best Transformers film, in my opinion, that they've done live action wise.
Even though it had John Cena in it, I like John Cena.
I didn't see John Cena.
You couldn't see him. That's an ongoing joke there. No, I think it looks cool. I don't know. I personally don't hate the Transformer films. I like them for what they are. Like they're just a lot of fun. Big explosions, cars that turn into robots, and
best expression I've heard for those films is bubblegum for the eyes.
Yeah, definitely.
Like there's not a lot of substance to it. It won't fill you up, but it's just good, just fun to do sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's
It does exactly what it says on the tin.
Yes,
exactly.
Giant robot smashy. Yeah.
Exactly. For anyone that's joined us on YouTube, just to let you know, we're also live on TikTok doing the show this week, and we got Plastic Snaps on TikTok. It's totally random, wasn't expecting it, went live, and he just jumped on as a co-host. So if you can hear that other voice, I'm not keeping someone hostage in my room here. I've got plastic. Don't, you're going to get us cancelled, Simon.
See it, say it,
Um,
sort it.
But yeah, but no, I think it's cool. And my boys were really hyped. We sat down, we watched a trailer together, and yeah, it just looks like a lot of fun. I think Optimus Primal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stephen Butler's put there. I got
Voiced
a
by
favourite
Ron
in
Perlman,
somewhere.
by the way. The
that?
the awesome Ron Perlman is voicing Optimus Primal.
Ron Perlman
Hmm
is going to be Optimus Primal. There you go. There you go. Can't complain. That's it. That's it. I can't wait. I can't wait. All right. Which way should we go next? Let's
I
talk
don't know.
Guardians. Oh, Indy.
Ah,
Okay. Let's talk Indiana Jones. Little subtle nod there from.
what
I'm
I
gonna
like
be.
though, this is effectively the Jiminy Cricket situation now, because now I feel like you wanted to go to Guardians of the Galaxy, and then a little voice in your head started doing the Indiana Jones theme that we now weirdly we can all hear, and then that's like, oh, you're right, maybe I should go Indiana Jones.
Yeah. No. Shall I tell you what? Indiana Jones. We got like 97 people watching us on TikTok at the moment, so it's like, it's not huge numbers, but it's big numbers. It's not bad considering we've not done it this platform before. So, Indiana Jones. I'm not gonna lie. When I heard they were doing a Indiana Jones 5, I was kind of like, nah, I'm not interested in that at all. Like, I didn't hate the Crystal Skull. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I was kind of like, okay, it's indie. I've got to love it. And when I heard they were doing another one, I was kind of like, you know what, Harrison Ford's getting on now. He was okay seeing Han Solo come back, but let's not touch Indy. Indy is like, I have a whip and a fedora in my loft that I bought in Arizona because I could, and I was just like, Indy he's there for me, but. That trailer was good. It was good.
And there's some very good de-aging going on in that trailer as well, which is
Yeah.
very interesting. But it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 levels of good de-aging.
Yeah. It I don't know. I think this could be the final chapter of Indiana Jones that we kind of need, like we wanted. Stephen Butler said over on the platform here, I've totally missed that trailer. How the hell did that happen? It just kind of dropped, didn't it? It just kind of dropped out of nowhere.
Because it belonged in a museum and you didn't have a ticket.
But it is
just
two
quotes smashed in together.
Shall I tell you the best thing about that trailer for me was the way that they used the music. The music at the end, like the Indiana Jones theme, like the hairs on my arms. Oh, it's such a good theme tune, and it's instantly recognizable. Like
they
like
do so well with trailers at Disney though, because they did this with Star Wars, right? Rise of Skywalker was almost like a trap in some ways, because the trailer, they had that beautiful rendition of, like, I think this, like, the Jedi thing, which is the duh, 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 and it's that bit where it had like C-3PO saying like, yeah, what are you looking at, 3PO? He's like, one last look at my friends, and then the big crescendo bit happens, and I'm getting goosebumps talking about it now, and that was a film that was quite average, but but that the trailer was incredible, like, and with that it was the use of music, and when you've got such a recognizable theme, if you use it really well, you're right, it can really evoke emotions. Like you said, it gets you in the heartstrings, and they did it so well in Indiana Jones. Like that trailer was just awesome.
It doesn't look like it's trying to be, like, we might be completely wrong when the film actually drops, but it doesn't look like it's trying to be something more than old Indiana Jones. Do you know what I mean? Like they've embraced that element of it quite gracefully. But the bit where he picks up the fedora right as the music hits, I was like, oh my god! I was like scrounging around for something that I could go, like, I think I had a tea towel at the time. I was like, come on, let's do this. Like, I can't wait. And being a toy collector, I don't know about you gents, but I haven't pre-ordered or I didn't go for the Indiana Jones figures at the moment. I thought I was going to sit back and wait for them to see what they're like when people sort of get them in hand and stuff. But now I'm kind of like, right, I need my Indiana Jones. It is. It's like, give me. Like, I'm just literally going to drop my figure in a bin. Yeah, it's. I'm
I've got the retro one on pre-order, and I'm gonna order the 6-inch or 8-inch one. I don't know. I can never remember Legend scale. That the bigger one.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to get Indy in his classic outfit. That's the only one I'm getting. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to that scale. I'm not
There's
doing it, man.
also a fan channel exclusive that they've dropped as well, which is Indy in like the white tux. Have you guys seen that?
Yes, from Temple of Doom, from Club Obi-Wan.
Yeah. So there's an extra figure, Indy in a white tux, and straight away the customizer in me was like, that's a perfect patch costume for Wolverine. Because we had the patch head with the riders a couple of years ago, and I did a custom. But I was like, that is essentially like a patch, like a Wolverine patch, because it's the tux, it's got the flower and everything. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm up for that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Have you pre-ordered them figures, Simon?
I don't pre-order anything. You know me.
Yeah. I just wondered, because of it being Indiana Jones, like,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what figure it is. I'm not a pre-orderer. I literally will wait a whole year if I need to get my hands on it.
you know, I don't know if you caught last week's show, but Sorrell did an experiment this year, and he was like, I'm not going to pre-order anything. And he didn't pre-order anything until last week. He went almost the whole year, and then he put a pre-order in. I was like, oh, mate.
Did he have weekly sweats?
Yeah. Yeah, so I've got a couple of comments coming over here. So I've got how sold are you guys on the Indiana Jones films? Indiana Jones figures from Hasbro. So obviously we just addressed them. It's a mixed bag. It is a mixed bag. I think that's probably why I didn't kind of jump on them, because I don't know how to put it really, but they weren't all characters that I was fussed about. Like classic Indiana Jones, like, yeah, cool. The rest of them, I was a little bit kind of,
I
because it
might
is a
get
bit
the
of a mixed bag.
staff. I really like the staff, like the Marvel Legends prop. The prop line that they always do with like Star Wars and
Yeah.
Marvel. Like, I kind of like the staff. I might get the staff actually.
Yeah, I agree. But I just didn't like, I wasn't overly sold on the builder artifact kind of idea. Like that didn't really sell it to me. But now I'm on a classic indie, and I'll be disappointed if I can't get hold of one. But yeah, Indiana Jones, absolutely wicked.
Fun
Comment
bit
over
of
here.
trivia, by the way, before I forget. Do you
Go on
know the
then.
retro indie they've done? Do you know that scan whose figure that is? Steve Evans.
Steve Evans. Yeah.
Once
Steve
again,
Evans.
supplying Hasbro with their classic figures to
That's
scan.
it. For anyone who doesn't know, Steve Evans, friend of the show, from Hasbro. He's the design and development director, I think his title is, for Marvel over at Hasbro. He's been on the show a couple of times. He's a really cool guy, really great collector. Look up his Instagram. It's Mr. Stevie18. He does so many kind of polls and spotlights on the community and stuff. And he's got a lot of the old retro figures, and for the Star Wars and for the Indiana Jones, they've used his original retro figures to do the scans for these new ones. So they are genuine reproductions of the original line, which is really cool. Yeah. Okay, so comment here as well. Which MCU movie are you looking forward to seeing the most? Ooh, that's quite a nice little segue. We can talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 3, because we've got a trailer for that.
Probably that actually.
I'm really hyped for Guardians 3. You call that
Guardians
trailer,
of Galaxy just feels like home.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I don't know, it just looks like, knowing that it's kind of the third part of the trilogy, and knowing that they're kind of going full circle, and having seen the Christmas special or the holiday specials, we kind of know where the characters are at. I'm really interested to see where it goes. And I love the fact that they're going down the high evolutionary route and the rocket kind of origin story route. I think it will be really interesting to see what they do with that, and how far they take it.
My money's still on Drax dying.
Yeah.
Sorry to be really depressing.
Someone's going, aren't they? Someone is definitely going.
The reason I think
Trailer, they're teasing a death.
Yeah.
Death.
Yeah.
See, and the reason I think Drax is because Drax you can get away with. It sounds stupid because his death would be emotional, but it wouldn't be devastating because he will be joining his wife and his daughter. So I feel like somehow he'll do something, and it will, like, that's his story kind of come full circle, is that he will find peace and then be with his wife and daughter, and they may even do like a little afterlife scene with him, who knows? But they've done it for a few characters now in different mythologies.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's the one that which is weird. If I was going to kill a character off, because it sounds very morbid, but my
Yeah.
money would be on Drax. So I think that's the one you could do it the nicest full circle with.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. They I'm really bad with actors and actresses' names and stuff, but the actor that plays Mantis, there's a quote of hers where they've asked about the future of Guardians after episode 3, and it's something along the lines of that it's definitely going to be different. So I think that implies to me the lineup will change, that there will be difference, because if you look back in the comic books, like the actual Guardians of the Galaxy, the
So
lineup
many
of the
iterations.
Guardians, yeah, there's so many different ones, and a great crossover with X-Men is Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde becomes Star-Lord in one of the comics as well, and I think that's a really good opportunity for them to explore that potential storyline down the line.
You got all those characters from the post-credit scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with Sly Stallone and his original Guardians of the Galaxy lineup.
The original lineup, yeah. But no, I think that trailer looked really good. I think it's kind of what I expected it to be like. Not really give a huge amount away, but to tease enough that, and it's Gunn at the end of the day. You know what you're getting.
And it was nice.
I just loved it.
It was just a Warlock as well. Just a hint.
Yes.
Too much.
No, not too much. It's I'm really excited to see what his role is going to be in it. Like how whether it's going to be a large role, whether it's going to be a small role. Is he going to be an antagonist? Is he going to be on their side? Like where are they going to put him and how are they going to use him?
Villain at the start, hero at the end.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look, both saying the same thing across both platforms. You're finishing each other's sentences. This is amazing.
Because that's my multiverse double. That's why we think the same. We only disagree on 3 things, but we got to find out what they are yet.
Oh, Tasha, thank you very much. That room is my dream. Yep, it's taken a long time. You can only see a section of it as well on this platform because of the way the camera's set up. But yeah, so no, Guardians is cool. And shall I tell you what I'm really excited for as well? The costumes, like seeing the Guardians in the actual OG Guardians costumes is really cool. Like that's a really nice touch. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But then I'm also hyped about Ant-Man because we've had a little bit more of a tease. Yeah, they've given more and more of a tease, haven't they? And you've got Bill Murray in it. We know MODOK's in it.
That trailer with the Yellow Brick Road remix was phenomenal. Again, talking about music, like that was such a fantastic use of music, and I was well psyched about that. And I've been singing that to myself like quite a lot.
Tasha, it's that one. There you go. Straight in my hand. 1984, I think this one was. Sorry, he's always there on my desk right in front of me. So I'm crossed. I'm splitting. Yeah, no. Has anyone seen as well? MODOK. There's been the Funko Pops have been released. The images of the Funko Pops for Ant-Man have been released. There's 1 Ant-Man, 2 Wasp, and MODOK.
So what? You can see what MODOK looks in it.
Yeah, you can see how MODOK looks.
Is MODOK Yellow Jacket? In this, are they? Is it yellow? I've heard Yellow Jacket that's turned into MODOK.
You know what, Simon? Now that you've said that, I'll tell you what. Have a look at the image. Have a look at the Funko Pop image,
right?
And drop me a message.
This is what happens when you cross the streams.
Yeah. It would make sense though. Let's be honest. I loved Yellow Jacket as a villain. I really did.
He didn't really officially died, did he? He just got sucked into the quantum realm.
Yeah. That would work.
Oh I forgot he got sucked into the quantum realm. So yeah, he's definitely game to make a return.
And in Loki, we saw his helmet, didn't we? Like a really oversized version of his helmet. So yeah, that could be. Yes, Stephen's put in the comments there. Pop in the Box sent them out. I mean, between Funko Pop and Lego, you're always going to get spoilers.
Lego were a nightmare for spoilers. But
so
obviously they did spoil that What If one, and then that What If episode never happened. The Iron Man and Nebula one. Do you
The
remember like
Iron Man and Gamora one, yes.
that
So
was
that
it? Yeah.
episode is actually going to be part of season 2.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they pulled it
Did
back.
they ever confirm why they didn't air it?
I think timing was what all it was down to. So yeah,
We got a Lego set for it already.
yeah. Stephen, you're asking about best movie, etc. of 2022. We are going to do a 2022 roundup show nearer the end of the year, so I will save those answers for then. Any other films? What other films we got coming out? Because that was all the
Avatar 2: Way of Water still looks phenomenal. Like in my opinion, can't wait for that. Like that's any day now, I think, actually.
which one? Sorry,
Isn't it? Avatar 2: Way of Water, that's like any day now, isn't it?
Avatar 2. Yeah.
Or is it Boxing Day?
That's coming very soon. I'm not overly it's kind of too long ago for me.
It sounds stupid, but this is so I went to I think I mentioned on one of the other episodes, but I actually went back to they re-released the first one in the cinema. And because I never got to see the original one in the cinema when it came out, I watched it on Blu-ray because I just couldn't get to the cinema. So I got to see it in 3D in the big screen finally this year.
Yeah.
And I loved it, and I absolutely fell in love with how it looked again. Like I just thought it was breathtaking and beautiful. And even if you don't care about the story that much, the visuals are interesting enough that you don't sort of care about the story, even though the story is good in my opinion. But what I didn't realize, because I was really enjoying the soundtrack at the end of the film, and so everyone else got up and left. It was just me and my other half in the cinema, and then suddenly it came up on the screen, and now an 8-minute preview of Avatar 2: The Way of Water. So I got to watch 8 minutes of the film, and I tell you what, the leap in computer graphics in that time frame, like, is just it's insane. I didn't think it could get much better. You just watch this really visually impressive film, then they show you a preview of the, was it 7-8 years later film, maybe longer, I don't know, and it's like it's insane. Like all the water effects and the creature, it was all to do with this creature and sort of swimming around with one of the indigenous species and stuff like that. And it was just but it was pretty breathtaking. Like it was Animal Planet real.
My biggest fear about it is that when Avatar came out, it was kind of groundbreaking. It was ahead of its time. It was like cinematically something totally different. Whereas I feel that a lot of other properties have caught up with that now. So I'm not sure how they're going to keep themselves kind of like ahead of the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but
elevate each time,
elevate, that's the right word. Thanks, Simon. Yeah. And I hope that they do, because I remember at the time when I first saw Avatar, then it was amazing. I think the thing for me would be like taking my little ones that weren't around when Avatar first came out, and hoping that I can kind of share that, like, you know, that they will have that as well. Does that make sense? So I'm really excited that they're continuing it for like the people that weren't around to watch it in the cinema, because the same as what we say about Star Wars. You know, we didn't get to see Star Wars originally in the cinema, but then the prequels for us was like, oh my god, this is amazing, because we got to see the prequels. So I'm pleased for people that weren't here when the original one came out. And yeah, I mean, we'll see.
There's a couple of things I think will do really well in its favor. So I don't think it will do obviously as well contextually as the original one, because it's not new, if that makes sense. It's a sequel, so it's not like you said, it's not this groundbreaking thing, that phenomenon that the original was. But I think it will still do well for a couple of things. One, because of the visuals, I genuinely think people were still impressed with the visuals enough of the first film and the kind of crazy mythical world that had been created, that people will just want to see more of that. But two, I think a younger generation will really feel to it, because this is a film that's really sort of attached to obviously the oceans, and that's a big thing being taught in schools now. I mean, obviously you've got kids, and I'm sure they've already mentioned it a lot about, it's like kids are very conscious about oceans and the sea and stuff like that. And I think we've not actually had a big groundbreaking sea adventure, underwater adventure sort of thing for years, and because we can't make it look good enough normally. And then you've had like Aquaman's come out, that did really well. Now you've had Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, that's done really well. So I think, you know, ocean's hot right now.
They need to remake Waterworld, mate, with Kevin.
I will defend that film until the day I die. I still love that film.
They need to jump on that bandwagon and remake Waterworld.
I'd like them to revisit or make a sequel to The Abyss as well, talking oceans.
Oh yes, The Abyss.
Yeah, when you get the extended edition where it's cut properly and all the scenes actually flow and make sense, it's such a good film.
There was a film. What was it called? I can't remember
You-
what it was called for the life of me. And it was
The
a
Sphere?
film. No, it was a film based underwater, and it was one of these really cheesy kind of almost B-movie films, and I loved it. And
Deep
right
Blue
at the
Sea?
end, you saw like you saw like tentacles, and that was the monster.
Underwater with Kristen
Nope,
Stewart,
nope,
because
older
Cthulhu's
than
at the end.
That was quite good.
nope. It's older than that. I'll think of it. I'll remember it. I will remember it. It will come to me.
Underwater film with his tentacles. Are we talking 80s, 90s?
The Abyss. Was it The Abyss? Or am I thinking of a different film? Maybe it was The Abyss.
Because you had like the Abyss, Sphere.
Like when the water comes out of and it forms like the shape of the woman's face.
Oh yeah, maybe it is The Abyss. Maybe I'm thinking of the ending of The Abyss being a totally different film. Oh, Ed Harris. Yes, Ed Harris was in it.
Then yeah, that's the
Brilliant.
Abyss. I would
Yeah.
recommend the Sphere as well for anyone who likes to look up that kind of stuff. That's quite a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Was that it for trailers this week though? Was there anything else?
Record anything trailer wise.
I don't either.
Can't think of anything else. I wasn't expecting to see 3 new ones. I'll be honest, it sort of threw me off guard.
No. Well, it was all based on where was it? Like Brazil Comic Con or something, wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
it was some random Comic Con that I had no idea about. Oh, Mario. Stevens mentioned Mario. There was the Mario.
Oh yeah,
trailer.
Mario. That looked really good. The only thing I just can't acquit to. It's a bit like James Corden voicing Peter Rabbit, which just seems which is just wrong on multiple. It's like a multi-story of wrong because it's wrong on so many levels. But
Yeah.
the is Chris Pratt's Mario voice. I just can't quite. I need to hear more of it, but I'm still what I've heard. I just can't get it. Everyone else's voices seem to fit the character, but his one just doesn't even seem to fit like the look of the character. Even if you didn't know who Mario was, the voice
Yeah.
just doesn't match the design.
No, I get that. I do.
But
get
I'll
that.
wait till I actually see it because I think I might watch it and it might be like, wow, because it might be completely different. But at the moment, that's the only bit I'm sort of struggling with. The actual movie itself, though, looks good fun.
The original Mario guy do the voice. Why not?
I don't know.
He's still like a kid. I mean,
Yeah. It
To be fair, though, but by that
visually, it
logic, we
looks
could have got
brilliant. It looks
we
fantastic.
could have got Jaleel White to do Sonic's voice in the new film, which could have been terrible.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, I don't know. Visually, it looks really good. I'm excited for it. But then I was excited for the Bob Hoskins Mario film back in the day.
Me and my
Like,
sister
I was
loved
still
that as
kinda like,
kids.
yeah.
I didn't think of it as like Super
No,
Mario,
yeah,
but we
it's
just loved it as kids. The idea of this grimy underworld world with dinosaurs and tiny head, weird henchmen thing. It's all
Yeah.
very odd, but very cool.
I must admit, the trailer that came out with the penguins and Bowser and stuff was so funny that I was kind of like, I can look past the kind of Americanized sort of Chris Pratt. It's not Chris Pratt, Chris Evans' voice.
That is Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, sorry, I'm getting my Chris's mixed up.
So many Chris's, so little time.
Yeah, and it worked. His voice works in things. So yeah, I can look past it. It looks like it's going to be a really funny film. So I'm all game for it. And as Steven's mentioned in the comments, there Mario Kart in it. So including
Yes.
Mario Kart in the Mario film.
Smash Brothers as well. I think
Super Smash Brothers is
Yeah.
hinted in there as well, isn't it? So
Yeah, it was Donkey Kong.
yeah.
Smart.
So yeah, no, I'm well up for it. I am well up for
If
it.
anyone wants a little YouTube watch just for a little bit of goodness for the soul, everyone should look up the Pierce Brosnan interview for Black Adam, where he gets interviewed by someone from his very small home Irish town, where no one ever leaves normally. And
Oh,
Pierce
really?
Brosnan goes like instantly back to being really Irish, but he gets really emotional because he's like
Really?
never. It's like Naman or something like that. I can't remember where it begins with an N, but he's from an Ireland, and it's like a really small town, and like no one leaves there normally and stuff like that. So the interview is like, I'm gonna make your day, and I'm actually from. And he says about it, and Pierce Brosnan's face, just his whole demeanor changing. It is the sweetest little interview, but you just see Pierce Brosnan get all emotional and turn so fucking Irish again. It's wonderful,
real
but it's a really heartwarming little, like, I think it's like 8 minutes. So if everyone's bored, you can watch that.
Oh, best. Yeah, no, I will. I'll have to watch that. But yeah, so that's about us this week. We're doing a really short one. We're just jumping in.
I have one tiny
and
quick thing. Sorry,
Ryan has
I did
something.
actually have one tiny toy news bit.
Oh, okay.
So
We got
my
toy news.
next 17 wave of figures arrived.
Oh, okay, cool. So for you guys over there on TikTok, you can't see this, but
No, you'll just have to imagine what, or
I have
look,
to audio
Google the next
describe.
17.
Ryan holds up small retro figures from the Star Wars line.
But
They
yeah,
look
he
really
does.
nice. They do look
They're
really
really
nice.
good figures. They feel great. But I've got a load of lightsabers. He's done like background pieces that you can just sort of tile, make a whole Death Star.
That's
It's
really
pretty
good.
nuts, man. But there you go. I'm going to review them soon. But like, I just thought I'd give a shout because it's the closest thing to toy news. I think there's not really
Yeah.
much in the way of other than people shamelessly cashing in on Green Ranger stuff at the moment. But
So before, what I'll do is we'll finish up the show over here on YouTube, and then I'll finish up the show over here on TikTok. So, but before we do, one cross streamed bit of news. Marvel Legends have their live stream on Tuesday, I think it is. Any predictions?
Guardians of the Galaxy figures,
Oh, okay, that's good.
potentially holiday special,
I'm going to go
but more
X-Men.
likely 3. Are you going to go X-Men? Okay.
I'm going to go X-Men. My prediction is we're going to see the 2 multi-packs of the yellow and blue costumes of the characters that we're missing. Because obviously we've seen Gambit, we've seen Storm, and we've seen Banshee. So I think we're going to see the other 3, which is who is it? Jubilee, Psylocke, and Forge. They're the ones I think we're going to see, and potentially the Blob that we've seen leaked as well. But I think it's going to be an X-Men heavy one. That's my prediction.
Plastic Snaps. What's your prediction?
Oh, fuck it. Chucking a Spider-Man.
That's like going like I'll put one on red and black. Like there's just
What I love about that was like being in Romford Market, like when you're doing a deal at the meat stall, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what, you got your X-Men. You know what? I'll chuck in a Spider-Man. All right, love, right, 2 for a band."
I proper feel like Cilla Black though, because you two are chatting, but you can't see each other, and I'm just here like looking at you both.
Jake lifts up the digital wall.
There you go. Right, listen, let me round up over here on the platform, and then Simon, I'll say goodbye to you properly. But yeah, so this for everyone watching on the normal platform, this is a very, very quick one this week. We're missing SuperSorrell. We're going to come back next week, talk all the toy news and stuff. We might do a kind of a sporadic, kind of random midweek episode or something. But as always, thank you very much for watching and everything. Do
You
tune
kept
in
the
next
streak
week.
alive.
Just didn't want to break the streak. Episode 77 this week. So yeah, stay tuned. Obviously, geekweekinreview.co.uk can give us a follow over there and all the other social media platforms. Yeah, and we will see you next week. Ryan, anything you want to say?
Until then, keep it geek.
Till then, keep it geek.